everybody, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a book haul. Yes, you heard right, I'm going to be doing a book haul. So, this past weekend, one of our bookstores, I guess it's not a local bookstore, I think it's like a nationwide bookstore, but basically Half Price Books had this super huge sale where you could get books for under $2, and it was at a convention center, and it was packed, and there was a lot of bookish people there, or I should say bookies, and I was one of them. And so basically I went there and I searched through thousands and thousands of books and found the ones that interested me the most. Some of the books that I picked up, I've already read them, but I didn't own them, or maybe I owned the soft cover and they had the hard cover on sale, so I decided to pick them up. Most of these books are not new books since they were probably used before, but I'm okay with having a used book as long as it's in a good condition. So I'm just super excited to share with you guys what I found this past weekend. The two books I'm going to share first, I actually got these last week before the Half Price book sale. They were bought at Barnes & Noble, which is my second home, and so I was inspired to read these books after I read Milk and Honey. So if you watch my June TBR, you'll know that Milk and Honey was one of the books on my June TBR. I read it, and after reading it, I did a little research and found that these books were recommended if you enjoyed Milk and Honey, so I decided to pick them up. The Princess Saves Herself in this one by Amanda Lovelace. I read this book already, but this is my book haul. I'm not going to do a review, and I'm just sharing what I bought at Barnes & Noble. Second one was Whiskey, Words, and a Shovel by R.H. Sin, which I have not read yet, but I did pick this book up at Barnes & Noble. Okay, so now to the books that I bought at the Half Price big book sale at the convention center. I bought 50 Shades of Grey, 50 Shades Darker, and 50 Shades Free. So I own these books as Kindles, or I guess the ebook version of it on Kindle, and I saw them on sale, and I was like, I might as well buy the hard copy since they were only $2 each, and I decided to add it. Now, I'm not a big fan of this writing, but there's just something about having the hard copy of a book that you've read. So even though I wasn't even a fan, like I haven't even read the third. Yeah, I haven't read the third one. I've only read the first two, and I barely made it through the second one. It was like pushing myself. Literally, guys, it took me probably a year to finish this book because I felt like the writing was that bad. But I still wanted to own it and add it to my book collection, so I decided to purchase these three. The next book that I bought was The Reader by Bernard Schlink. So I actually think I've seen the movie to this, or that was adapted from this book, but when I saw the movie at the time, I never knew it was even a book, but I decided to pick it up. So I saw it because I had seen it on Goodreads and I saw people reviewing it, and then I read the back when I was at the convention center buying books, and I was like, this sounds really interesting, and I decided to pick it up, even though I'm pretty sure I've already seen the movie that was adapted, but you know, the book is always better than the movie, so I do plan on reading this book. Okay, next book, Heidi. So this book right here, my daughter loves the TV show Heidi. She watches it, she's 3, and she loves watching it, and I watch it with her. Like, even though I love cartoon, since I have a daughter, my excuse for watching it is that, oh, Miriam is watching this, I have to watch it with her, even though I'm actually enjoying it myself. But I didn't even know that the show was based on the book. I honestly did not know, and then I saw it and I was like, and I picked it up, and I mean, this is such a kiddie book. Like, look how big the writing is. Look at that. It's super big because, I mean, I'm pretty sure this is probably for like a 3rd grader, but I love that show so much that I was like, I want to own this book. So there you go. Next book is The Last Days. So this is the sequel to Peeps, which I own. I own Peeps, haven't read it, but I was like, since there's a sequel to it and I have the first one, I might as well get it, because I'm sure that after I read the first one, I'm going to want to read the second one. And another reason I bought it is because of Scott Westerfield. I read his whole Ugly series and I loved it, so I was like, I might as well pick this one up too. Next book, The Mockingjay. So I know you can't see this, but if you look closely on here, you'll see that I have Hunger Games and Catching Fire, which I have not read yet, but we'll keep that between us. But anyways, I own those books because I want to read them eventually, but I figured I might as well add to the collection and get the third one. So I picked it up because it was only like, I think this was like $3. But either way, that's a good deal for this book. Next is My Sister's Keeper. So I'm always hesitant to read Jodi Picoult's books. I read Small Great Things, and that book was really, really, really good. Like, I love that book, but other people say her other books are not that great, and some of the reviews are not that great, or some of them just don't sound interesting to me. But I decided to go ahead and pick up this book, My Sister's Keeper. I actually seen the movie to it, but the books are usually better, so I'm gonna read it eventually. Okay, next book on my list is Tina Fey's Bossy Pants. So this is a non-fiction, I think it's like a memoir type book about her life. I've been seeing it around, and Tina Fey, I like her, she's funny, and I was like, I might as well pick up her book. And since I read Girlboss and I liked that, even though it was nonfiction, I was like, I'm sure I'll enjoy this too, especially if it has that Tina Fey voice. Like, she's funny, so I'm expecting that the voice in this novel will be funny, right? So I'm going to do these two together. So I picked up Bridget Jones' Diary, the first one, and then Bridget Jones' The Edge of Reason, and I know there is a third one where it's Bridget Jones' Baby. I've seen all of the Bridget Jones movies, and I always wanted to read the books. I know that you're not supposed to do that, and like if I know that there's a book for a movie, then I'll read the book first. But with the Bridget Jones, I never knew it was based on the book until after I had seen the movies, and then I was like, oh crap, now I have to go back and read the book and compare it. So I started it. I need the third book, but I'm gonna read it. So the next book that I picked up was Extras by Scott Westerfeld. So like I said earlier, I'm a Scott Westerfeld fan. I love the series. The Uglies, I read those like so quick, and I even did like a book study club with some of my students. And so I'm really, well, I already read, like this is part of the Ugly series, right? I forgot to mention that. I listened to this on the audio version. Honestly, this wasn't even one of my favorite books. This was my least favorite book from the series. It was extra. Literally, it was extra. So I already read it by audio, but there's just something about owning the book. Even though I've read it and I have all other 3 books, the hard copies of them, and so I wanted to buy this one just so I can have the book, even though I've already read it and I didn't even really like it. But yeah. Okay, so the next book that I bought was Beloved by Toni Morrison. This is one of my favorite books. So when I was doing my undergrad in English Lit, I studied English Lit, hence my love for literature and being an English teacher. But when I was doing my undergrad, my senior paper was over like feminists and African American women, and this was one of the books that I used to support my thesis. And so I've read it before, I've seen the movie and everything, but I don't know where my copy of Beloved is. Honestly, it's probably packed up somewhere, but since I don't know where it's at, I was like, hey, this is $1, let me pick it up, and I bought it. So the next book on this list is Say You're One of Them by Wim Akpan. Okay, so this is by a Nigerian author, and I guess I'm in this like phase right now of reading where I'm really into reading diverse literature. Like I'm currently reading Americana, which was on my June TBR list, and I love it. And so when I saw this and I was like, it's by a Nigerian author, it was in Oprah's book club in 2009, so it must be pretty good. I mean, if Oprah's reading the freaking book, it must be awesome, right? And so I was like, I might as well pick it up because I'm all about diverse literature. I think we need diversity, and it sounded pretty interesting, and so I'm looking forward to reading it, even though I never heard of the author before. But I mean, that's the beauty of books, right? Okay, and the last book on in this video for my book haul is The Help. So I already own this book. I own it already, but it's a soft cover or hard copy. Not a hard copy. It's soft back. I'm like going blank right now. It's not a hard copy. It's a paperback. Okay, it's a paperback book, and this is the hard copy. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, the hard copy, let me pick it up, because I love hard copies of books. If every single book was a hard copy, I would love it. Like, I don't know, there's just something beautiful about looking at these hard copies of books. And so even though I own the paperback, I wanted the hard copy, and so I picked it up. So yep, those are all the books that I picked up this time. I am going to try to not buy for a while. I always told myself when I started my, well, I mean, this booktube channel is literally 2 weeks old, but I said that I was not going to buy books to do book haul. Now, because I already have a spending habit. Like, I spend money just to go spend, but especially when it comes to books, I'll buy books that I don't even need to buy because I still haven't read all the books that I have, but I just want to buy them because they're beautiful and they sound interesting. I want to read it, and just pure craziness, wasting money. Well, it's not wasting money because they're books. I mean, anyways, but yeah, so after this, I should not be doing another book haul for a minute, because even though I only spent $40 on all those books, that's a lot of books, and I need to read them before I start buying more, right? Right? Yeah. I know this is not gonna happen. I'm still probably gonna buy more books. Thanks guys for checking out my channel. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys will come back. Make sure to subscribe and like this video. Peace out.